What up, though? It's your boy Dino. How's that going, my misfit family? Just checking in. Been a minute. Haven't dropped a video in a minute, so figured I'd give you the update, followed up by another story when I was younger. Yeah, this weekend was a good weekend. Went up and saw Ashley after work on Friday, and we went over to Santa Cruz to look for a place since we're trying to move by the end of the year. Went over there met with a couple and checked out their townhome, and wasn't expecting for it to be what we wanted, but people were awesome. Price point was a little high, but it's got a lot of space. It's new. It's nice. It's everything we wanted. So we put the deposit down, and it looks like we get the keys this weekend. So I'm gonna finish out the year down here with working, probably commute up there on the weekends and get stuff moved slowly but surely, and then by Christmas we'll be under the same roof. And Ash is gonna be moving all of her stuff out of her house. She's got a lot of stuff, so she's gonna be out of her house by December 1st. But in the meantime, we're gonna hustle, still stack that money and get as much as we can. So the move is pretty, easy. Moves are never easy. I hate moving, to be honest. I freaking hate moving. But, I'm stoked, a little nervous. I'm leaving my family, my friends, work, everything to move halfway across the state, but she's worth it. She's worth it. So yeah, next event is, finding a job up in the Bay Area. Now that I'm certified, I got my journeyman card. It shouldn't be too hard. There's a lot of work up there, but yeah, I'm super excited. Can't wait for I'm just ready for 2020 to be over with and to get into 2021 and see what 2021 has to offer and get my life going, man. I'm 42 years old. I'm over being in a stall pattern doing the long distance thing. Like, I'm ready to either get my life started or go a different direction. But I'm stoked. I'm starting my life with her. So that's the update. And I'll follow it up with a story. Can't leave you guys hanging just on that. So yeah, I was thinking about it today. It's always the day that I'm gonna drop a video. Everything races through my mind of, okay, what story do you think they'd want to hear? Is that a good enough story? Is it entertaining? And then I just got to remember that most of them are entertaining. They were definitely entertaining to me, so I'm sure that if I tell it in a way that it is a good story, they're all good stories, but sometimes I fear that I'll stutter or not tell the story as detailed or eventful as it was in real life, because that's what my life, and how the life of a drug addict is. It's pretty eventful. And this story takes place, I was probably 23 years old, and one of my buddies, he's my best friend that I was with, we were running around together at the time. He had an apartment across the street from the college in Fresno. Apartments were actually called the Bulldogs, which was the mascot for Fresno State, and which is a huge gang in Fresno. A lot of people hate them, especially in the prison system, but I'm not too fond of them either. But anyways, This story takes place at the Bulldogs. My buddy had an apartment right across the street, man, and we used to have a gang of parties there. That during that whole time period was just a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, and a lot of women. And this particular night, my buddy was having a party at his apartment, and we had invited some friends over, had some girls over, and there was this girl that, you know, my buddy, my buddy was talking to this girl, and she brought a friend, and they wanted to hook me up with her. And so she came over. She was cute, and we kind of hit it off. We were having a good time, laughing, drinking, partying. Well, we're running low on beer, and I needed to go. I was designated to go and get beer, and she said that she'd go with me. So I was thinking, cool, we'll get a little alone time. We'll get to kind of know each other, see what this girl's about. And I knew she was on the outs with this guy that was pretty well known up here in the Fresno area, and he was known for being a tough guy, and they were together for a long time. They were off and on, and at this point, she, led me to believe that they weren't together anymore. And so, she got in the car. We went over to 7-Eleven to grab some alcohol, and I had a black limited edition Ford Explorer, sunroof, had a big ass red independent sticker on the back. You knew it was my car. It was all murdered out. It was all black. It was dope. And anytime you saw it, this independent sticker stuck out like a sore thumb. So we got in the car. We're driving over to 7-Eleven. We're chopping it up. She's pretty intoxicated. She was kind of loud, a little bit annoying, kind of obnoxious. But, hey, most people are when they're drunk. But, I was just buzzing at the time, of course, drinking and driving, not a care in the world. And we pulled up to the 7-Eleven across the street from Fresno State. It was right there on Shaw Avenue. And when we pulled up, I remember distinctly, like right when we pulled up, she had the window down. I got out of the car. I left the car running. I got out of the car, and when we pulled up, there was a car next to us, and there were a couple guys in there. And of course, she was super friendly and started chopping it up with them. Hey, what's up? What are you guys doing tonight? I wasn't paying attention. I got out of the car, left the car running. When I got out of the car, I was walking into the 7-Eleven to get more beer, and there was a payphone right there in front. And yeah, this is back when they had payphones 20 years ago, and so there was a payphone, and I remember there was a black dude, and he was on the payphone, but he had his back to me. So I didn't get a good look at him, didn't see his face, wasn't even really paying attention. Well, I walked by him, and I walked into the store, and I'm walking back I was in the back corner, walking back to the back corner to get a 12-pack. I think I was going to get a couple 12-packs, and I remember thinking in my head, like, I don't know, I just had this gut feeling that something wasn't right, And so I walked back, I grabbed 2 12-packs, I turn around, and I'm walking back up to the counter. Well, as I'm walking back up to the counter, like I said, man, I just had this gut feeling that something wasn't right. So, the aisles, they're a little bit shorter than I was. So I looked over just to look out at my car to see, what was going on. Well, my car's gone. So I drop the 12-packs, take off running. I'm running down the aisle. And as I'm running out the door, I tell the dudes at the desk, I'm like, call 911. Because as I'm turning the corner, I see homegirl out in the middle of Shaw Avenue, laying on the ground, like holding her leg, just bawling. So I sprinted out there. I ran out, grabbed her, picked her up, started walking her over. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? And she's like, that guy jumped in your car, and he asked me if you were my boyfriend, and I told him no, and he said that, good, because I was going to be his girlfriend for the night and that he was going to rape me and this and that. And so I guess what happened was is when I walked in, as soon as I walked into 7-Eleven, homeboy that was on the payphone jumped in the driver's seat and locked the doors, and she had her seatbelt on, and he said what he said to her, and then he backed up to take off, and as he's driving out the driveway of 7-Eleven, he's holding on to her seatbelt. She's fighting with him, punching him, and she finally gets the door open and like throws herself out of the car, but the seatbelt's got her held up, and so he's kind of dragging her down the street. She's got road rash and everything. So by the time I got out there, she's on the ground, she's bawling. My car is nowhere to be seen. This guy's inside 7-Eleven, called 911. I walk her back over, sit her on the curb, and I walked in and I just asked them, hey, did you guys call the cops? They said, yeah. So we're sitting there waiting. I can hear the sirens. It seemed like it was pretty fast. Well, I don't know. I think this was before. No, they had cell phones, but for some reason I don't remember. I don't think I had a cell phone at the time. But I remember the cops pulling up. They came pulling up and they're asking me questions. What's your car look like? What's the description? This and that. Give them all the description, everything. They say they're looking for it, and so they let me use their cell phone. So I call my homeboy back at the apartment. I'm like, hey, dude, my car just got stolen with homegirl in it. I'm not going to say her name. Just got stolen with homegirl in it. We need you guys to come pick us up. He hangs up on me. He thinks I'm bullshit, so he just hangs up. He's like, yeah, whatever, click. So I'm sitting there in front of this cop, and this cop's like, oh, nice friend, and I'm thinking like, this motherfucker, dude. So I called him back, and I'm like, dude, seriously, bro, you got to come pick us up. My car just got stolen with homegirl in it. She jumped out while it was driving. Like, come get us, dude. So he's like, he hears the panic in my voice. So he's like, oh, shit. So he's like, all right, we'll be right there. Well, as I'm hanging up the phone, I can hear over the cops' radio, we're in pursuit of stolen black SUV with big red Iron Cross sticker on the back. And they were chasing this guy. They were in a high-speed chase with this dude. So they chase him for 10 minutes goes by. We're still sitting there giving the cops a report. I know this, all you convicts and everything, are gonna be like, oh, you were telling on him? Fuck yeah, I was telling on him. Motherfucker stole my car and tried to rape homegirl. Fuck him. So anyways, so I hear over the radio, the cops are, they get in a high-speed chase with them. They finally, let the cop know that we're with. They say, hey, we got the perpetrator stopped, and we have the car surrounded. We got him in custody, this and that. Can you bring them down to identify him? So they put us in separate cars. They drive us down there. It's way down on the west side, way down by Kearney Park, like way down on the west side. So they drive us down there, and they pull up on the street. They got the ghetto bird over, a bunch of cops. What homeboy had done is he got in a high-speed chase. Well, he took off to his, I don't know why he went home, but he drove to his family's house, parked my car in the driveway, and jumped out and tried to run inside. They ended up catching him, but at the time there was a bunch of his family members there, so they're all out front. We pull up, we're in the cop cars. They got her in the other cop car, they got me in one, and I'll never forget this, because cop was, goes through his whole spiel of like, oh, he can't see you, this and that. And I remember asking me, is that him? They brought him outside of the car, out of the back of the cop car. They had the spotlight on him. I don't remember what he looked like. I just remember he was black. But I didn't feel right, and I didn't want to lie. I didn't know if that was him. I didn't get a good look at him, and I was just straight up. I said, I don't know. Well, homegirl saw his face, was in the car with them. He tried to rape her. He was trying to kidnap her, everything. And she pointed him out. Well, so, they put the guy back in the car. They ended up driving away with him, taking him to jail. I guess he had been busted before for rape, kidnapping, same MO. So this wasn't his first time. So dude was a piece of shit, needed to go away anyways. But so they ended up, taking him to jail. My car's sitting in this dude's family's driveway. All my doors are open. The car wasn't on, but it was like the key was turned forward, so all the lights were on. I remember I had like ammo in the back of the car. I didn't have my gun on me at the time, thank God, but I had a bunch of dumb shit in there. And I remember the cops going through it and releasing my car back to me. They were like, "Oh, you can take it tonight." And I'm thinking in my head, like, really? Like, this shit was used in a crime scene? Like, but I was stoked, I got my car back. And so they just give me my car back with homegirl, like, okay, hey, we're headed back over to my buddy's apartment. And I remember she was just a mess, dude, like almost catatonic, like couldn't talk. And, we both got in the car and I kind of made a wise crack, like, hey, so how about a second date, And she didn't even answer. She didn't even acknowledge it. I don't know if the first date was, it's not that it was even a date, but it was just kind of funny that, we went to get beer. And I guess it wasn't funny, but homeboy tried to steal my car with her in it. But so anyways, we got in the car. I go to turn it on. And by this time, all the cops had left. And the last one was just pulling away. I went to turn my car on, and my car's completely dead. Sitting in this dude's driveway of his family's house. They're all still outside, talking shit, yelling at the car, this and that. Finally, dude, she jumps out of the car and runs after the cop car as it's driving away and is banging on the side of it like, "You can't leave us down here." He turns around, he comes back, he has to sit there with us while AAA comes because I guess police cars can't jump your car with jumper cables because it messes up their computer or is the risk of messing up their computer. So we had to sit there for another half an hour waiting for AAA to come to jump my car because they were about to have a dead white boy on the west side. And yeah, so AAA came, jumped in the car, got it started, put her in the car because she was still just a hot, hysterical mess. Rightfully so, started driving back over to my homeboy's house and got back to my buddy's house. And there we walked in, dude, and the look on my buddy and her friend and all our other friends' face, like when they saw her face, they were like, first they were like, "Dude, you fucking liar," thinking I was lying because they went to 7-Eleven, no one was there. And so they thought I was bullshitting them. They just thought I was trying to, get it in somewhere. And when they saw her face, like all their expressions changed and they realized like, oh shit, it really did happen. So homegirl ended up taking her home, kind of killed the night. We ended up still drinking and partying, but that was just the start of a series of events that, once something like that happens in a smaller town, everybody hears about it, so now it turns into, oh, Dean and so were, out on their first date and she got kidnapped and raped and this and that. And, she was cheating on homeboy and homeboy didn't know about it and this and that. So, it was probably 3 days later, everybody had heard about it. And homeboy heard that it was in my car with me. And he was not happy about it. Now he's out looking for me. And I will tell you what happens in that story in the next video dropping at the end of this week. So stick around. Glad you guys still subscribe. Appreciate all of you. I love the Misfit fam, gang. You guys know what time it is. All right, I'll talk to you later. Later.